If there's burn piles, we're going through the burn piles. If there's any fresh dirt, we're looking in fresh dirt. If any crawl spaces, if we have to search back for a week, it's difficult. If we have to search back for the last year, it's a huge task.
Oakley Carlson, the 5-year-old that went missing from Washington, reportedly last seen over a year ago. I want to talk about some of the updates. There were some interesting things from Cairo 7 that I saw this morning, as well as I've spoken to a couple of people closely related to this situation, and I got a little bit of information as far as some of the background, though I feel like, and I know that there's a lot more to the story that has been put out publicly. One of the first things, and this is from Cairo 7, reportedly there was a bloody handprint on the wall.
Officials are now running a DNA test after detectives this week found what looked to be a bloody handprint on the wall.
This fire that we've been talking about, and that I was able to pull up the old GoFundMe, which now Cairo 7 actually showed it on the news, which I think is cool. It's getting spread out there.
Drawing much of their focus is a house fire last month. This GoFundMe page was set up afterwards.
This GoFundMe thing, which these images are kind of telling, I believe. I purposely zoomed into this, and I didn't say anything because I wanted to hear what you guys said, but I totally agree. That looks like a pipe. And this couch, the way it's burnt, it looks like the origin of fire. And I'm not an expert on this stuff. Somebody was saying maybe an accelerant. Pretty interesting. The other thing too with this photo, wonder what this is on the ground right here. I don't know what this circular thing is. Maybe it's just something that's burnt. But clearly this is seems like the origin of fire, just because, and as many of you pointed out, the door and everything looks kind of normal. Everything looks fine around, but this couch.
Under Sheriff Johansson said there is evidence of that fire, but no firefighters were called out at the time, because the homeowner told authorities it was put out.
This article screenshot was sent in the Facebook group. Shout out to them again. And this talks about the account of the fire. Swift reported there was a recent house fire at the residence of the 100 block of Bartow Road. And while she and fire personnel had contact with Oakley's parents almost every day afterwards to provide them with support and supplies, Swift never saw Oakley and began to worry. According to Swift's report to police, Bowers told Swift that Oakley had started the fire with a lighter on the couch, and the family didn't call 911 because they couldn't find their phones. Just sounds like BS to me. The Carlsons were temporarily staying at a Tumwater Inn after the fire, according to the court documents. In a report to the Tumwater Police Department, Swift reportedly said she had one of Oakley's siblings over for a sleepover on December 3rd, and when asked about Oakley, the 6-year-old became very upset, saying Oakley is no more, according to a report from Tumwater Police. Now, we've also heard multiple reports from the principal, from the daughter, that, the siblings saying Oakley is no more. Police are saying the same thing. Even one account of the siblings saying that the mother supposedly told the sibling that Oakley was eaten by wolves. As far as the property, right, and the owner, what's the deal with that? I was told that that particular property that they were living in was owned by Andrew Carlson's grandmother, the father's grandmother or mother, which I did verify, and I could see that that is the case. And I was also told that the property surrounding the area was supposedly owned by his father, like Andrew's father. That's what I hear. The situation with the siblings, and this is the information that I got today. So Oakley has 3 other siblings, right? And the oldest one, which is a boy, I'm told is like a half sibling or whatever. Like it's from a different father. And so what I was told, because it's the oldest child, it's a boy, Jordan Bowers, the mother, was with another guy before this guy, Andrew Carlson. So with the other guy she was with, she had their first child. Then supposedly she cheated on that guy with this guy named Andrew Carlson. And that's how the other 3 siblings came to be. So there's one child that has a different father, and then the other siblings have the same mother and father. I hear there may have been some drama between the 2 fathers back in some time. And from what I heard, this older sibling, I'm not going to say the name, would visit the mother like on the weekends and things like that. There was like this visitation thing that sometimes go there on the weekends. And so that older sibling now is back with his father. And I think the other kids, remaining siblings, were taken into child services. This was a Facebook post that was made in the group. And now that you have the context of the older child, this will make a bit more sense. It says here, I'm the aunt to one of Jordan's children. They couldn't find their phone is a lie. The son had a phone that they used to call dad and tell him about the fire. The aunt made another post and she says here, she has had weekend visits for the last year. My brother is amazing. He was diagnosed as severely autistic when we first got him, and within 6 months, he was up to grade level and no longer considered autistic, all because of my brother. A little recap. So Oakley has a total, there's 4 kids total. Okay. Oakley has 3 other siblings. Oakley and 2 other siblings have the same mother and father. And the oldest child, the boy, was with a different father. Okay. The mother was with some other guy. They had a kid together, and then she leaves the guy or cheated on the guy and goes on with Andrew. And then they have 3 of their own kids. Oakley's background, from what I was told, and this was on the news as well, the foster parents that we see on TV, they got her at 7 months and they had her till November 2019. Before that, she was with somebody else. I don't know, I guess maybe other foster or however that worked out. And a lot of people are wondering what was the reason that she was in foster care in the first place. Now, from what I hear, I mean, you look at these parents' faces, substances, just look at the pipe on the ground. I hear it's because of that. I don't know, that's the answer I got. I don't know if there's other things. So then maybe you guys are wondering, what about the other siblings? Why weren't they taken away? How can this child be taken away but not the others? When Oakley was put into foster care, it wasn't just her. There was another child, her sibling, her sister. I believe she's 6. The child that we've referenced, the abandonment charges where allegedly her medication was being withheld for like 15 months. That child was also put into foster care with Oakley. Okay, so that's 2 of them. Then we have the older boy, which I'm told he's 9. The GoFundMe said 10, but I've spoken to 2 sources and they told me he's 9. The older child, he was really in dad's custody. He would only go there for like weekend visits. And so that wasn't a problem to like take that child and put him into foster. And so that leaves us with one more child, right? And so that child at the time wasn't even born yet. Jordan was pregnant and she had the baby after the 2 kids were returned. After Oakley and her sister were returned, then comes a new child because she was pregnant. So the child was born after the fact. And so clearly, in my opinion, there's a failure of, it doesn't seem like they really checked up on these kids much because the kids were sent back and there's a newborn baby that I believe now maybe 2, I'm not sure, about 2 years old. And they're all put back at home. So that's what happened as far as were the kids taken, were they not, who was there, blah, blah, blah. They were taken away and one was born after they were returned. The day that Oakley was reported missing, which I believe was Monday, I was also told that that was actually her birthday. So she had just turned 5, though, reportedly she's been missing or they haven't seen her verifiably in over almost a year. It was her birthday that just passed. And yeah, I mean, it's not looking good. I'm sure there's a whole lot more to the story. And of course, when I say the system failed, first responsibility is on this mother and father, Andrew and Jordan. They're the biggest, of course, failures in this all that let all these kids down. I mean, I don't even know what happened. And, we've spoken previously on Andrew that he was a former police officer. And I believe he was, I forgot the word, fired, dismissed, whatever, for making false statements and lying. These people that are searching, law enforcement, maybe volunteers, they have an incredibly hard task and a lot of ground to cover and search. I can't even imagine what this would entail. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for the people that reached out and offered some information and clarification to the story. I really appreciate that. Hopefully this video makes a bit sense as far as the family makeup and as far as where the kids were at and what happened, even though I'm sure there's so much more, because these kids came back 2019, I believe, the end of 2019. And so we have from that time to 2021. And that's what I got for now. I might be doing another story today, a new story. We might see a live stream. I'm not sure yet, but definitely hit the like button, turn on the bell notifications, help this video get out into the algorithm, spread the story, spread the name, spread the picture. And yeah, take care of yourselves. Peace.